So really excited about this. So Build Out here. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to introduce my next set of YouTube videos that are coming. And they're really around the top 10 pain points for project management, directors, managers, really kind of understanding exactly the pain points that we're facing today. So who am I? My name is Bill Dow. I have 30 plus years of hands-on experience. Been doing this a long time. Over the last 20 of those 30 years, I've been running PMOs. I've ran 10 PMOs across 4 different companies. So very large PMOs, very small PMOs. So if there's anyone that's going to talk about pain points, it's me. And so I thought I'd jump into that today. And again, I'm releasing all these on YouTube, so I'm really excited about it. Been a speaker, a presenter around the world, from Las Vegas to London to India to Toronto to Vancouver to San Diego. So really excited about that. Come do check out my YouTube channel. Check out my books, right? PMO Lifecycle, Building, Running, Shutting Down, Project Management Communication Tools, Tactical Guide for Building a PMO, Project Management Communication Bible that's just underneath me or behind me, and then of course I released the PMO service offerings, another book on PMO continuous improvement. So I'm constantly releasing books. Just head up to Amazon, you'll see those. Okay, so what are the top 10 pain points? What are we suffering with, right? So number 1, establishing and executing a project governance structure, right? Very difficult. Number 2, doing the wrong projects, so competing with the governance structure. Number 3, PMO resource turnover, right? We're seeing that quiet quitting. We're seeing a ton of turnover. Number 4, PMO resource capacity and planning. Number 5, PMO process improvements. Number 6, PMO alignment to organizational strategy. Number 7, PMO resource execution consistency. Number 8, PMO communications. Number 9, PMO leadership support, really having that lack of that seat at the leadership table. And then number 10, dealing with implementations of various development methodologies such as waterfall, agile, DevOps, hybrid, right? So these are the top PMO manager pain points that we're suffering today. And like I said, I'm going to just touch upon them really quickly here. But like I said, I've got a series of YouTube videos coming, so you got to check out my Dow Publishing LLC YouTube channel where I release those videos and a ton of other videos. So let's jump into these. So establishing and executing a project governance structure, right? So I'm not going to go extremely deep in this, but we all know establishing a project governance structure is unbelievably difficult. Many companies give up on it. So what I cover is really some best practices, right? Why are we in this situation? Why is this so hard to do that? And then of course we give you some solutions and some suggestions on what you can do around getting a project governance structure set up and going for your organization. So number 2, doing the wrong projects, really competing with that governance structure, right? So that's where we talk about executives' pet projects. That's where we talk about kind of skirting the governance structure and all the goodness that we set up in the governance structure. And then really facing, those executives that want to squeeze in those projects, and they're really competing, right? We do all this structure and get all this governance structure set up, but then when an executive competes against that, it's really difficult. And so we really have to figure out what we can do from that perspective. And of course, that video goes in there. Number 3, PMO resource turnover. Man, we are facing a ton of turnover with our resources, right? So we really got to be getting some great programs set up, and we really got to be valuing our resources like never before. We're seeing quiet quitting. We're seeing resources across the board that are leaving us. And so we really got to get on top of that. And so my YouTube video really goes deep in setting some of that stuff up. And I'm hoping you check that out. Number 4, PMO resource capacity and planning, right? What are we doing with our resources, right? What are they working on? What about operations? What about lights on, doors open? What about the projects, right? So what do we do from a capacity? Do we have the right people? Can we do the projects that we're required to do? right? And so that resource capacity and planning is really a huge component, and we really got to nail that. And I go into that in my detail as well, my video as well. PMO process improvements. This is a huge passion for me, but it's a pain point because we're not getting to them as fast as we'd like to, right? So from a process improvement perspective, what are we doing? How do we keep moving that bar? And so I give you some suggestions and I give you some feedback, and I really walk through how we can actually do that. Number 6, PMO alignment to organizational strategy. So I'm really excited about that as well. And so how do we align our PMO to the overall organizational strategy, right? The organization's got a strategy. We've got a set of programs and projects we're doing our PMO. How do we get that alignment? It's a huge pain point for PMO managers, PMO directors, and I really walk you through some of the suggestions and some of the things you can implement today. Number 7, PMO resource execution consistency, right? Are our project managers executing the same way? Does red mean red? Does yellow mean yellow? Do we have risks and issues and actions and decisions? So we really talk about the pain points that PMO managers are facing. And then, of course, we give you solutions and some recommendations that you can implement immediately. Number 8, the PMO communications, right? I've written 2 books on communications. It's a huge passion for me. We really need to understand what are we doing and how are we communicating? How do we do that constant communications and that consistency in our communications? That's so important, and we really nail that with this video as well, PMO communications. And number 9, PMO leadership support, right? Do we have the support from our leaders to get a seat at the leadership table? If we don't have that seat at the leadership table, we're really going to run and really going to struggle running a successful organization. So what can we do? What are some of the things that we can do really and knock it out of the park so we get that confidence from the leaders? And again, I cover that in detail in my video, and I really hope you can take a couple of those points and make sure you get a seat at that leadership table. And then number 10 is really a lot of PMO managers are dealing with this, is how do we deal with the different development methodologies? Waterfall, Agile, DevOps, hybrid, right? They're all coming at us at fast paces. We as PMO managers, we as PMO directors, we got to stay on top of that. And that's just one of the things that we have to tackle. And it's a huge pain point that we're facing. So I just wanted to summarize. I just wanted to wrap up and says, listen, what do you think, right? What do you think about all these pain points? I'd love for you to comment below. I'd love for you to really get that flavor for as you walk through the different PMO videos that are coming. Really let me know. Let me know in the comments. Provide me that feedback. I'll keep producing these types of videos, but I've been doing this a long time. These are the 10 pain points we're facing. These are the 10 pain points the other PMO directors and managers are facing. So I certainly wanted to get that out for you. That's all I got. Thank you all very much, and I'll see you online.